Sports have long been a pastime for humans. During ancient times, the Olympics were held every 4 years during a religious festival to honor the Greek god Zeus. Today, the Olympics are held as a form of entertainment and as a means of promoting global peace. Naturally, many researchers and scientists wonder the extent to which competitive sports can impact and change a person. And when looking at adolescents' participation in competitive team sports, researchers and scientists can better understand the extent to which sports impact athletes. Good morning, my name is Sofia C, and the question is, to what extent do competitive team sports impact adolescents positively? My answer to this question is, competitive team sports positively impact an adolescent's physical and emotional well-being, their cognitive skills and abilities, and their social skills. Research has shown that prolonged participation in sports can lead to increased muscle mass and strength, above average release of endogenous opioids and serotonin, and a reduced risk of cognitive diseases later in life. Studies have shown that professional runners release endogenous opioids after intense physical activity, especially in the frontal limbic brain regions. This above-average release of endogenous opioids and serotonin helps strengthen the immune system and fight off immune diseases. There's also been a pattern of reduced risk of dementia later in life, due to the release of endogenous opioids in the frontal limbic brain region. The graphic on the right side of the slide shows the brain's happy chemicals, and as you can see, serotonin and endorphins are considered to be one of those chemicals. Continuing on with endorphins and serotonin, a pattern can be seen in athletes. The release of endorphins helps relieve stress and regulate mood, while the release of serotonin can have antidepressant effects. And these effects are heightened after physical activity. Additionally, sports provide a distraction from stress and act as a positive way for adolescents to relieve said stress. Long-term participation in sports has also been shown to influence one's threshold of discomfort. For some athletes, it even goes as far as to lessen their premenstrual syndrome symptoms. Prolonged participation in sports has been shown to lead to enhancement of cognitive abilities and skills, especially attention, reaction time, and spatial awareness. The picture to the right shows parts of the brain labeled, like the frontal lobe, temporal lobe, spinal cord, cerebellum, occipital lobe, and parietal lobe. Heiko Lex, a member of the Neurocognition and Action Research Group at the Bielefeld University in Germany, conducted a two-part experiment on less and more experienced soccer players. The first part of the experiment investigated the storage and structure of team-specific tactics in a person's long-term memory with regard to their different experience levels, and the second part of the experiment investigated their tactical decision-making skills and corresponding gaze behavior when the participants were presented with identical match situations in a reaction time task. The results confirm Lex's hypothesis that the more experienced a player is, the more hierarchically organized memory structure of team-specific tactics they will have. Sports require their own unique type of sports training, which can lead to repeated use of different cognitive abilities and skills depending upon the sport. For example, volleyball players make use of their iconic memory along with inhibitory control of action and intentional alerting, while badminton players make use of iconic memory and basic processing speed. Sports allow for adolescents to develop their social skills. They learn teamwork, trust, and cooperation, and develop a sense of belonging and community. The picture to the right shows a group of kids playing basketball on a blocked-off street in South Dakota. Hoops by Bill Bamberger is an exhibit at the National Building Museum in Washington, D.C. The exhibit consists of a series of pictures of basketball hoops in different communities from around the world. The picture Bamberger captures are said to allude to the character, friendships, and community that can be forged through the game. The pictures show how when one participates in a sport, whether that be for fun or school, with friends, strangers, or family, they learn the importance of teamwork, cooperation, and most importantly, they develop a sense of belonging and community. The top photo shows an abandoned campsite in rural Tennessee, captured in 2008, and the bottom photo shows a charter school playground in Harlem, New York, captured in 2007. Competitive team sports present a big risk factor for an adolescent's mental health. There's a high risk of sports-related anxiety and stress, depression and suicide, and eating disorders. Bullying and hazing from teammates is also a potential risk. There are as well as specific risk factors for athletes diagnosed with ADHD. Competitive team sports can also cause sleep deprivation and overtraining. However, with the combined efforts of researchers, coaches, schools, and the athletes themselves, these issues and risks can be solved. Some solutions would include implementing a zero-tolerance policy for misconduct and mistreatment of teammates, educating athletes of the long-term effects of hazing and bullying, cognitive behavioral therapy specific to those athletes diagnosed with eating disorders, depression, sports-related anxiety and insomnia, and annual screen testing for eating disorders. Some of these solutions are already in effect. For example, on the NCAA website, you can already find programs that already teach athletes about the long-term effects of hazing and bullying. To conclude, competitive team sports require intense physical activity that results in the release of endogenous opioids, serotonin, and endorphins. These endogenous opioids and serotonin help strengthen the immune system's defense against diseases and even goes as far as preventing cognitive diseases like dementia from forming later on in life. Furthermore, the endorphins released during physical activity can lead to mood regulation and stress reduction, and the release of serotonin can have antidepressant effects. Sports also act as a distraction from stress, helping adolescents to de-stress in a healthy and positive environment. Prolonged participation in sports has also been shown to enhance cognitive skills and abilities, especially attention, reaction time, and spatial awareness. Sports also develop in adolescents social skills like teamwork, trust, and cooperation. They also give adolescents a sense of belonging and community. Any questions?
I do have two questions for you. The first question is, what evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and why did you choose not to use it?
I had gathered information about this experiment that took place in Finland that was conducted on Finnish males from when they were the age of 12 up until their early adulthood, about how sports had affected them personally, and I decided to not use it because it was information from people in Finland and not from the area of research that I had, like the US. So I decided to not use it because it didn't come from the area that I was looking at.
Okay. And what advice would you have for other researchers who consider this topic?
I would say make sure you get your sources from a variety of places, not just one place. That way you can have multiple sources, and then those multiple sources help you in your perspectives and help you with your counterclaim and your solutions.